Big Blue Confidential, week number 4, episode number 4. Scott Fryer here, your host, and we are going to talk about this disaster of a football team. But there may be blue skies ahead. Maybe big blue skies ahead. But we'll get to that shortly. First of all, let's recap week number 3 against the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 winless football teams going at it on Sunday Night Football. And if you follow the channel on social media, you saw that I was having a great time up until right about halftime. You can almost see the crash out coming. I posted after each quarter, I give a little recap of the quarter. And then halftime, I give a little recap. And you could see a little bit of frustration building. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the after the game in the parking lot before I got in the car and went home and cried myself to sleep, I had a little crash out. So it was as expected. And listen, here we are, week 3. Okay. Yes, I pick the Giants to win 2 of the games so far. I'm obviously unsuccessful. But they are exactly what I thought they were going to be at this point, 0-3. I feel like I think I might have even said it last week. There probably isn't a person who knows anything about football who picked the New York Giants to have a win or 2 by week 3. Probably not. Most likely not. I'd be willing to bet that there's not. But they're competing. They are still competing. People are going to hate on me for this, but I'm seeing it this way. I'm trying to look at it objectively. I'm trying to look at it from an outsider's point of view. At times we look awful. Are we the worst team in football? Absolutely not. I saw, it might have been NFL on Fox had the updated rankings this week. Usually come out Wednesday morning. I looked, we were 29th. And they had the Titans and the Saints below us, which is an absolute joke. There's no way, no universe that the New York Jets are better than the New York Giants. There's no universe. I don't, at this point, I don't know where to go. I mean, the game started off great. The crowd was awesome, first of all. The parking lot was great. I got some footage. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to drop a little bit of that during the week. The crowd was great. The parking lot people were excited. I got there a little early. I think I got there probably right around 4:00. Gates opened at 3:30, the parking lots, and we were already in full throw right off the bat. We had a great time. It was good. I mean, and then we went inside. The optimism was high. The crowd was loud. We started off really well. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better start, except for the fact that once again, Graham Gano gets injured in pregame warmup. Now, there is a rule, because I see a lot of people, how do we not have another kicker? And why do we just add a kicker at the last minute? Well, here's the rules, folks. You have a 53-man roster, okay? There is not one, because I looked. There's not one. There is not another NFL team out of the 31 other teams that carries an extra kicker. Not one. And on game day, you can only carry 48. You're allowed 17 players on your practice squad, in addition to your 53 on the roster. You can carry kickers on practice squad. Most people do, but you cannot add a guy after 90 minutes before kickoff. That is the rule. That is the NFL's rule. 90 minutes before kickoff. So you get hurt 20 minutes before the game starts, guess what? And that's exactly what happened. Less than an hour before the game, Graham Gano warming up, pulls a groin muscle. Once again, Giants have no kicker. And it can happen to anyone. It just happened to us twice in the year. We absolutely lost the game to Washington last year because we had no kicker. We absolutely lost the chance to win this game on Sunday night because we had no kicker. Scored a touchdown, missed the extra point because Gano couldn't kick it. He tried. Props to Gano for trying. He couldn't do it. Jimmy Gilliland, our punter, tried to put him. He can kick off the ball, but he cannot kick a field goal. Kicking the ball off a tee and then kicking a field goal are two completely different things. You are not, unless you're an absolute pro, you're not going to kick that ball in the NFL through the uprights. I'm sorry. Even if most people are not going to be able to kick a field goal, I would say a good portion of the American population could not do it. Kick an extra point. I'd be willing to bet a good sum of money that I don't personally know anyone that could do it. I'm willing to put that money down. I'll put 100 spot down on the table. I'll bet you $100 that you couldn't kick a field, that no one listening right now or watching right now could kick a field goal or took an extra point. I'm sorry. Can't do it. It's hard. It's super hard. I've tried to do it. I tried. It's hard to kick one from the old spot, from the 3-yard line when you have to back up, right? Because you got the 3, then you add 10 yards for the end zone, then you're back 7 yards. So it's basically like a 27-yard field goal. And I'm willing to bet that none of my friends can do it. $100 if you can kick a field goal, an extra point from the NFL extra point line. I think it's the equivalent maybe of a 34-yarder. I have to double check. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure that you can't do it. And if you don't do it, you don't owe me anything. You just say, hey, you know what? You're right, man. But I'm pretty sure you can't do it. So it's tough. You're in a bad spot. It's just bad luck. I mean, and when you're a bad team, bad things happen to you. At least it seems that way. Okay, you don't get the breaks. When you're a good team, things like that don't happen to you, which we'll also get to here in a minute because I have things to say about that. But yeah, we had no kicker. We had to go for it on 4th down in the red zone, which is the red zone is a complete disaster. I'm not even going to touch that one because we talked about that last week and that did not change. We are an absolute disaster in the red zone. We scored a touchdown in the red zone this week. That was great. I mean, listen, Cam Skattebo, I have a man crush on this guy. I'm telling you, and it's huge. I have a huge man crush on this guy. Like, I almost started openly weeping when he scored that touchdown the other night. Our only touchdown, by the way. But that kid runs hard, and he just bounces off people. He takes tacklers on, and I know that's not sustainable in the NFL. Great in college, great in high school, but it is not sustainable in the NFL. Unless your name is Christian Okoye, right? You're not going to be able to continue to do that. He'll break down eventually. He'll get injured. But right now, because Tyrone Tracy Jr. separated shoulder, grade 2 separation, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. So guess what? Cam Skattebo, buddy, you are the feature back for the New York Giants. He better be. When I see that roster Sunday morning, when I'm in the parking lot at MetLife Stadium, I better see Cameron Skattebo's name as the feature back, as RB1, because I'm telling you, that kid has it. Whatever it is, he has it. Okay? He's got the what's the word I'm looking for? What's a good word? What is the when you have like the intangible thing, like you have come on, you got to help me with this. You're an Army guy, you know words.
Talent?
Oh no, obviously he has talent. But what's that when you have like he has charisma? That's the word I'm looking for. He's got charisma. Okay, not only is he a great football player, he's in the NFL. Everybody that plays in the NFL is a great football player. Okay, even the worst player in the NFL is a better football player than anyone you know. Okay, or you've ever seen in your life. But Cameron Skattebo has charisma, right? Because it's more than just running the football. It's more than just, putting your head down and taking on a tackler. He's got that thing. Russell Wilson has been in this league for like 117 years. Okay. He's won Super Bowls. He's been an MVP. He's been to Pro Bowls. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. And I don't care what anybody says. His years in Denver and his 3 games in New York are not going to ruin his Hall of Fame chances. He is an absolute Hall of Fame quarterback. Anybody who says otherwise is a moron. Okay. But when you're a rookie and you go up to a future Hall of Famer, you grab him by the shirt and you scream, and that's what the F I'm talking about. And you're excited. And listen, haven't had a guy like that, right? Because Daniel Jones wasn't that guy. Eli Manning wasn't that guy. Brandon Jacobs was that guy. Jeremy Shockey was that guy. And that's the guy who Cameron Skattebo is getting most. He runs like Brandon Jacobs, but he acts like Jeremy Shockey. He's a running back version of Jeremy Shockey. And I do believe that I may have said that, but I might have said that about Theo Johnson. I don't think I said it about Skattebo. Watching that kid play in person, he's electric, man. Just talking about it right now is making my hair on my arms and my neck stand on end. Led the team in rushing on Sunday. Led the team in receiving, which is a complete disaster. How do you have a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL? As the New York Giants do, because Malik Nabers is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. And if you don't believe that, well, you should just take up pickleball or something, because you don't know nothing about football. I'm not saying he's the best, but I'm telling you right now, Malik Nabers is a top 5 wide receiver in this league.
Can you leave pickleball out of it?
I like pickleball.
I mean,
but
it's serious.
You probably know more about pickleball if you think Malik Nabers is not a top 5 wide receiver.
We don't want to discourage the pickleball fans.
No. Listen, this is not a knock on pickleball. I'm just saying your football knowledge isn't there, so go take something else up. I just happen to say pickleball, so we'll say something foosball or tetherball. Tetherball is probably more your speed if you think that. My whole point is he is a fantastic player. Okay, he's going to be a Pro Bowl. He's going to be in the Pro Bowl again if he stays healthy. Okay, he's going to be all pro. How do you only target him 7 times in a game? I know that teams game plan to stop him. That's what teams do, right? NFL coordinators are smart. They say, "Hey, we're not going to let the Giants beat us with Malik Nabers. We're going to make you beat us with Wan'Dale Robinson. We're going to make you beat us with Darius Slayton or Tyrone Tracy Jr. or Theo Johnson. You're going to beat us with somebody else other than Malik Nabers. But you still have to get him the ball. You have to try to get him the ball." They were just not. I think he had 1 catch. And if you're from Jersey or you're from New York, you know what the Bronx cheer is. We absolutely gave him the Bronx cheer. Not him. We gave the Giants the Bronx cheer because they actually threw the ball to Malik Nabers instead of at him. Okay. So listen, we played good football. We scored a touchdown, right? I think we were down. I think, let me go check. We were down 6-0. We were down 6-0, and we drove down the field. 8 plays, 70 yards, 3.5 minutes. Great drive. It looked great. Okay. Chiefs were sloppy on that drive defensively. They gave us some penalties, which, I think those are just offsetters. That's what I call them, offsetters, because I was never a big fan of, the Chiefs get the calls because, the NFL wants them to win because Taylor Swift and yada, yada, yada. I'm telling you right now, folks, I seen it. I seen it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, guys. And we'll talk about that in a second. But the drive, Cam Skattebo, baby. 13-yard touchdown run, battering ram into the end zone. Looking like the guy from the X-Men. What was his name? The guy who ran through walls and stuff. That's what he looks like. That's what he reminds me of. Right? Not the Berserker. Whatever that guy's name was. Not the Rhino. I forget what his name was. That is literally Cam Skattebo. Someone should make a shirt with his face on it with that guy's body, because that's who he is. It was a beautiful run, and I was excited, man. I was jumping up and down. I was thrilled to see that. And then they couldn't roll Gano out there. They had to put Jimmy Gilliland out there to try to kick the extra point, and it was no good. Completely missed it. Tied the game. Going into the Juggernaut. Yeah, the Juggernaut. Yeah. Cam Skattebo. Somebody please make a t-shirt that says Juggernaut and have him wearing a 44 Giants jersey. Which, by the way, coincidentally, can I just tell you, for as many people as hate the Giants, I'm speaking to our fans. As many of our fans hate us, hate the team, and don't want anything to do with them, you can't find a freaking Giants jersey in the pro shop, man. You can't find one online. I wanted a 40. I went there with the actual intent Sunday with buying a Cam Skattebo jersey because I got the Jaxson Dart. My Abdul Carter came yesterday, thankfully, finally. Okay, so I have the two rookies I needed. I needed a Cam Skattebo because he's my guy. That's my guy. No gods. They had kid sizes. Obviously, I'm a big back and I do not wear a kid size. They had a 4X, which still way too big. And they had smalls, adult smalls, which also fit little kids. I wear a large or extra large. No gods. Nothing online. Not even the away jersey, not even the white one. So I did end up getting one. I ended up having to make one in the customizable, right? So that you can make a Cam Skattebo jersey. Like they even have the option to drop down menu to pick Skattebo, but they don't have any. That doesn't make any sense. And I bought the throwback one, which I love, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, he's going to be the most popular player on the team, and then along with the other young man we're going to talk about here in a minute. But he's phenomenal. So we tie the game up, looking good. Russ throws a terrible interception because Russ was terrible Sunday night. Awful. He was awful. That's not even after throwing for 450 plus against Dallas, who also got torched on Sunday by the Bears. And also get well to CeeDee Lamb, by the way. I hope he comes back because that injury, if you hadn't seen that injury, folks, don't. The good news is it wasn't as serious as it looked, but man, just thinking about it right in my head right now, I can replay the little YouTube clip of it. I swear to God, his leg was broken in half at his ankle, and somehow his ankle was only sprained. I mean, I saw that the first time I saw it, I'm like, yo, no way, his ankle is broken in half. And it wasn't at a minimum dislocated because your ankle is not supposed to bend that way. Just a sprain. Good for him. I'm glad he's going to be out a few weeks, but I'm glad it's not more serious because that's what we do here at Big Blue Confidential. We don't root against players. We want everyone to stay healthy. We don't want anyone to get hurt. That's bad. That's bad juju too. But yeah, Russ was awful, and he threw a really bad pick, and the Chiefs got the football, marched down the field, and let me tell you, two things on this. There was a play where Patrick Mahomes was forced out of the pocket, ran for his life, scrambled, got himself open, stepped up, heaved the ball downfield a la Eli Manning, just hoping that someone would run underneath it and catch it or get a pass interference penalty. And guess what they got? They got a pass interference penalty with 4 seconds left in the half. I've watched the pass interference penalty. Was it a pass interference? Yes. Should it be a pass interference with 3 seconds or 4 seconds left in the half? No. That's one of those things that you don't call. The unwritten rules of sports. You don't call that with 3 seconds left in the half because it was touchy. Okay, it wasn't like he jumped on his back like Rodney Harrison jumped on David Tyree's back in the Super Bowl and didn't get a call, even though he caught it. It was touchy. It could have gone either way. And in fact, the receiver pushed off our guy and it could have been called an offensive pass interference, which would have ended the half. But nope, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And I talked about it on last week's show. They literally said, Don LaGreca on ESPN radio said, there's no way the NFL is allowing the Chiefs to go 0-3. Well, guess what? That was the first time that I've been watching the Chiefs play football that I saw it. Wow, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right because that was a horrendous call. And not to mention, Not to mention Abdul Carter getting basically dragged to the ground by his arm by the offensive lineman while he's about to murder Patrick Mahomes, who gets away. And that's another thing we'll talk about here in a second. But Abdul Carter was basically dragged to the ground by his arm, which was a blatant hold right in front of the referee, and he just turns his head and looks the other way. Nothing to see here. Patrick Mahomes is running. I'm going to watch Patrick Mahomes run. Whee! Next thing you know, boom, field goal. We're losing. And I swear to God, folks, if you were in the stadium on Sunday night and you were at that game, please jump in here in the chat and tell me if I'm right or wrong. But you could literally feel the energy leave the building after that play. Not even the field goal, right? Because everyone knew it was automatic. Butker's a great kicker. That was an automatic field goal. It was like on the 10-yard line. Okay, 27-yard field goal. The pass interference penalty with 3 seconds left was the backbreaker. That's what we lost the game on that play right there. I'll die on that hill. The energy absolutely left the building. Players, coaches, fans, everyone. Stadium concession workers, everyone knew it. Just absolutely awful. Oh, and by the way, the drive before, blatant face mask on the Chiefs. Cam Skattebo dragged to the ground by his face. Almost tore his head completely off the shoulders. No call. The hell. And then the very next play, it was either the very next play or the play right after that. Giants had a huge gain to get a first down. Flag on the play. Called it back because Cam Skattebo got called for unsportsmanlike conduct for an illegal block, which they said was a crackback block. And if you're watching the show, you probably like football. You've probably been watching football a long time. You know what a crackback block is. If you're a defensive player, you never want to be crackback. Trust me. And I didn't see it until Monday when I saw when I watched the replay of the game. I didn't see it live when we were there. So I was like, oh, damn, that kind of sucks. But when I saw the replay, after he got dragged to the ground by his face mask and there was no flag, then I saw the call. You could not make a training video, an NFL training video on how to chip block somebody better than Cam Skattebo chip blocked on that play. Didn't lower his head, shoulder to shoulder, blasted the defensive lineman, knocked him to the ground. But my theory is the ref only saw the part where the defensive lineman went flying sideways and went to the ground and just assumed it was a crackback block, threw the flag. Instead of a 34-yard gain, it's a 15-yard penalty. Drive killer. Awful. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I hate conspiracies. I think conspiracies are stupid. I don't believe that the NFL wanted the Chiefs to win. But if you're going to tell me the Chiefs don't get calls, the Chiefs get just as many penalties. They did. Listen, I'm looking at it right here. The Kansas City Chiefs had more penalty yards. They were 8 penalties for 85 yards, while the New York Giants had 7 penalties for 82 yards. That doesn't mean anything. It's not about how many penalties. It's when the penalties occur. It's what the penalties are and when they occur. It's not about how many or for how many yards. I dare someone to prove me wrong. I dare someone to tell me that I'm full of shit and then it's wrong. Because I saw it with my own 2 eyes and I've been watching football for 50 years. Okay, but here's my theory. Before you get all bent out of shape or someone starts trying to say I'm just a hater. I'm not. I'm not. I think Patrick Mahomes is fantastic. And he's better. I will tell you this. If you've never seen Patrick Mahomes play live, I don't care what team you're a fan of. So I know Patriot fans are the biggest haters, which is very ironic because they had the biggest crybaby in the history of football on their team for X amount of years, who also very respectful of. I love him. I love
Still
Tom
the
Brady.
GOAT.
He's still the GOAT, undisputed. But you can sit here and tell me that he wasn't a big crybaby every time he got touched. Patrick Mahomes is Tom Brady 2.0. Telling you, except for he doesn't have all the Super Bowl rings, and he's not as great. But I'm talking about just the way his mannerisms on the field and the way he whines to the officials. So Patriots fans, you're the biggest hypocrites. There are some friends of mine who are continuously posting on Facebook about how much they hate Kelsey and Mahomes and the whole thing. You're a hypocrite because your team was literally the Kansas City Chiefs for 20 years. You're just doing it in a shorter period of time than you guys sustained it. You were a dynasty. They're not a dynasty. Okay, they're a fringe dynasty, but I think that dynasty their window's shut because they're not a good football team. But for a Patriots fan to come out and say that they get all the calls, bro, you literally built a dynasty on one of the worst calls in the history of the NFL. So shut up. The tuck rule is the dumbest, worst penalty in the absolute history of the NFL, and you built the dynasty over because if that's caused a fumble, you never see Tom Brady again. You never see because Drew Bledsoe. If you remember, Drew Bledsoe started the game against Pittsburgh because that wasn't even the AFC Championship. That was just to get to the AFC Championship. And Bledsoe started that game against Pittsburgh. You may not ever see Tom Brady again if that's called a fumble because the Patriots probably don't even win that game. So stop with the hate of the. You can dislike the Chiefs all you want because that's just natural. But stop with they get the calls and this and that because you sound dumb. But Patrick Mahomes is great. Watching him play in person is not the same as watching him on television. You don't get the full effect. He's phenomenal. But yeah, there was false start penalties and I watched it happen like in real time when their right tackle or their right guard takes a step back before the ball's even snapped. It happened a handful of times and no call. Right. But that's not why we lost. Trust me, it's not why we lost. I'm not sitting here and saying that. Okay. I'm just pointing out the fact that the people that say the Chiefs get all the calls, they're right. They don't get all the calls. They just get the critical ones in the critical times. That's the way it works. When you're a good team, you get those calls. Okay. Right now, the Buffalo Bills are getting those calls. They weren't before, right? Because if the Bills were getting the calls that the Chiefs get, the Bills would have been in the Super Bowl last year instead of the Chiefs because the Bills got screwed in the AFC Championship game last year. So it is what it is. The Chiefs are not a good football team. They're not a bad football team, but they're not a good football team. They're not what they were. They're definitely not what they were. The AFC West, the Chargers are the best team in the AFC West, most likely. We'll find out this week because that's who the Giants are playing. They have a tremendous defense. And I got to sit there and look at Mr. Khakis, Jim Harbaugh, for freaking 3.5 hours. I can't stand his face. But yeah, guys, it was bad. The Giants were bad they weren't bad. It just seems worse because it's just been so long. It's just been going on for years, and it just seems worse than it actually was. And then you have every single screaming face on television, anybody with a platform that wants to get on their platform and talk about the Giants are the worst team in football and they're blah, 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 blah. They're not a bad football team. They're not a good football team, but they're not a horrible football team. Hey, when you're playing bad and you're not winning games, everything gets exacerbated. Everything seems a million times worse than it is. Has the play calling been great? Nope. But I think that's going to change this week. I think you're hamstrung by the players that you have. I think that Kafka and Dable are too conservative, way too conservative. But I think you're going to see them open it up this week, or at least try to. That defense is tough. I keep saying San Diego. It's really hard to break that habit, by the way. It's Los Angeles Chargers. It's hard to break that habit. It's like calling the Commanders the Redskins. It's so hard to break that habit, right? It's been my whole life. But the LA Chargers are good, man. They might be the second best team in the AFC after Baltimore's debacle against Detroit the other night. They looked horrible. They looked like they didn't want to be there, getting smoked by Detroit, who again made me look stupid because I said they were taking a step back and they didn't look good, but they looked phenomenal against the Ravens. So Detroit's back. And Green Bay, who I said was the best team, the second best team in football, made me look stupid because they got beat by the freaking Browns. That's football, folks. Never can tell. I mean, there was probably no one, 0%. I mean, maybe some degenerate gambler took a flyer on the Browns and just put $100 on them. But there was nobody seriously picking the Browns to beat the Packers on Sunday. Nobody. Is what it was. I mean, I don't know. The league's kind of crazy right now, right? It's crazy. There's a lot of good teams, there's a lot of mid teams, and there's a bunch of bad teams. Okay, the Giants were not a good team. They're a lower tier NFL team. They are not the worst team in football. I can think of 3 or 4 at minimum off the top of my head who are worse. The Titans, the Saints, the Jets. That's 3. You know, maybe the Panthers. I don't know. The Texans look terrible, but for somehow the NFL loves them and they keep ranking them high. Same with the Chiefs. How did the Chiefs get in the top 10 in the rankings this week? They're 1-2 and they beat the crappy Giants. But Chief bias. Taylor Swift brings a lot of viewers, guys. Come on. But to say that it's a conspiracy is a joke. Stop that, please. Let's get over that. So yeah, just all around bad, guys. It wasn't good. Second half, I was miserable the second half because it just wasn't going our way. They wore us down. We couldn't do anything. Russ was garbage. It just got worse and worse and worse. It is what it is. We're 0-3. That's what we thought we were going to be going into this week. Week 4, we were going to be 0-3. Nobody legitimately thought the Giants were going to be 2-1 or 1-2. It was 0-3 the whole way. So that's what we are. And listen, I think this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but this is just me in my opinion. I think the Giants are better than they were last year. Last year, we didn't compete in most games. We got blown out in most games last year, but they're competing this year. The frustration is high. I get it. From the fans to the players, the coaches, everyone's frustrated. No one wants to lose. No one wants to be 0-3. Okay? But man, the fans make it hard, and I hate when I go there because it makes me so frustrated. And listen, you pay the money just like I did. It's your right to boo. It's your right to chant fire Daboll. It's your right to chant we want Dart. But these guys are human too. These players are human beings too, man. And I feel bad for them. I do. I have a soft spot for it because I don't like to boo my own team. I can be frustrated with them. I can be angry about it. But I'm not going to boo them because that just doesn't help anyone. That's booing and saying the things that our fans are saying and wearing a stupid bag on your head. If you're watching this show and you are one of those people that goes to the game and puts a paper bag on your head, or you're thinking about doing it, or you have done it, please stop watching my show because I don't want to know you. I don't want to be friends with you. You are a terrible fan. You're a piece of garbage. You're a garbage fan. Okay. I'm not saying you blindly support your team no matter what. I'm not saying that that's what I do. Okay. I'm supporting this team. I'm loving on this team no matter what they do, but that's not for everybody. But let's stop with the bag. It's so dumb. You look dumb and it's disrespectful. I don't know. I hate it. And I'm going to call you out if I see you at the game too. I'm going to approach you. But again, you pay your money. You want to boo. You want to say the things you say. You paid your $100 and whatever dollars to be a moron. So go for it. And one last thing on Sunday's game. Kansas City Chiefs fan, my hat's off to you. Respect, because I didn't see, doesn't mean it didn't happen. I'm just saying I didn't see any nonsense with Giants and Chiefs fans. There was some good-natured ball busting. A lot of Taylor Swift jokes flying around. It was funny. But by the way, did you watch the game Sunday night? Were you watching it all? Sunday night. Oh, they, if the whole Taylor Swift thing with the Chiefs and Kelsey and the whole thing. So during a break, they start playing a Taylor Swift song called "Welcome to New York," and they're panning across the skyboxes, right, like where she sits, and they're playing the music, and then it says Taylor Cam, and then the fans just go bananas, bullshit, booing, and I'm like, oh my god, they're actually going to do it, because I didn't think they were going to put her on the screen, right? I didn't think they would do that. I think that's so 2023, by the way. We don't do that anymore. She gets significantly less screen time than she did the first year she was dating him. But they start panning the sky boxes, the VIP boxes, and they're playing the Taylor Swift music, and it says Taylor Cam, and they zip by a few girls that had blonde hair, and you're like, oh my god, what's happening right now? And then they flip it around, and there's the GOAT sitting there with a cigar in his mouth, number 56, Mr. Lawrence Taylor, up on the screen, and then the crowd went absolutely bananas and cheering. It was great. Good that whoever decided to do that for the Giants, hats off to you, because that was fantastic. The Taylor Cam, that was the last thing I ever even thought of. It was great. It was good. So I think NFL.com actually had that up on their social media. So if you get a chance to go look at it, it's actually pretty creative and funny. But yeah, it's 2 words. Really bad. That's what I feel. After the game was over, I'm frustrated leaving. As a season ticket holder, I have not seen the Giants win a football game. Maybe it's me. Maybe I should stop going. It's wild. Someday I'm going to get there. I'll get there. I'm going to see them win a game eventually. They can't lose every game, right? That I go to. They got to win eventually. But I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep rocking my jersey, and I'm going to keep supporting this team, guys. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's why I do this show, because I like to talk about the Giants. That's why I engage my friends. That's why I go to these tailgates and I see all my friends at the tailgate. All my friends at the tailgate are who, by the way, are the best people on the planet. J18 lot. If you have a chance, if you're going to the game Sunday and you want to stop by and have breakfast with us, I'll be cooking up breakfast burritos, bacon, sausage, eggs, cheese. Come see us. Come see us. Come meet the realest New York Giant fans that there are. There's probably 75 to 100 of us, give or take, whatever Sunday, because not everyone shows up every Sunday. But it's the realest group of people. Forget about Giant fans. They're the realest group of people I know. All walks of life, all different beliefs. But when you get together on Sundays in J18, it's family. And if you're watching, guys, I'm giving a shout out to my crew. You guys are the best, man. It's all big. It's all blue, baby. You know what I'm talking about. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. But if nothing else, that's what I go for, right? I go for that 4 hours of family headed into the game, and then headed into the game excited and happy. And then the Giants ruin that for me every week. But I'm going to still show up. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I felt at the end of the game there tonight. And I actually, I recorded a little bit of a post-game reaction in the parking lot. But let me tell you, I recorded that thing 3 or 4 times before I got one that I liked, because the first one was not good. That was not fit for my broadcast. That was not good. There was a lot of swearing. There was a lot of obscenities. There was a lot of anger, right? And as I walked further and further to the car, angst eased somewhat because I got back to my J18 family and I saw them and it made me happy. They made me forget momentarily that I root for a terrible football team. But I'm still show up every week, guys. And I don't not everybody's me. Not everyone's gonna have the same outlook at me as me. A lot of you guys want to go out there and you want to hate on the team and say this and say that and whatever. That's you. That's okay. We can talk about that. I respect your opinions, but you ain't gonna get that here. We'll talk real. We'll do real talk, right? We'll do real talk, but we're not gonna sit here and continuously say fire that guy and say fire this guy because that's not what we need, guys. Everybody wants to fire Dable. Everybody wants to fire Joe Shane. Let before we get to real quick this week's game. Let me ask you guys, if you're watching, please comment if you're watching now or if you're watching later on in the week or whenever. Please comment to me. I need to know this from our fan base and the people that watch our show. What good is it going to do to fire Brian Dable right now? Because then what? Then who comes in? Who do we get? Does Mike Kafka take over? You hate him too. You fire the whole staff? Then what? Then who's coaching? Who are you bringing in? If they fire Brian Dable in week 8, who's coaching the team? Don't say it doesn't matter. I don't care. Stop. Somebody has to coach. It has to be somebody competent. Okay? Somebody has to coach the team. Who is it going to be? Tell me who you think will be the coach. Now, you want to say fire Dable at the end of the season? Okay. I don't think he deserves it, but that's just my opinion. You want me to make quiche Lorraine, but you're giving me Walmart hamburger, whatever. I don't know what the hell even goes in quiche Lorraine, but I'm trying to think of a fancy food. You want me to make some fancy food, but you're going to give me shitty groceries? It's not going to taste good. I promise you that. I'll do my damn best. You might like it for a little while, but then eventually you're going to get sick of it, and it's not going to be good. My buddy Ed, we need Kafka to be more adaptable during games. Get our boys open. Yes. That's called making adjustments, Eddie. Kafka does not make adjustments very well. Doesn't make adjustments. That's got to change. But I said it earlier in the show. I feel like this week we're going to open it up a little bit. We can be a little more aggressive. Now, against San Diego, that might be a little bit more difficult. But I still feel like we're going to attempt to. And I think that you're going to see a different New York Giant football team this week. Whether we win or not, inconsequential. But I think you're going to see a better approach, a better game plan, so to speak, than we've seen previously. And no disrespect to Russ, because Russ is a future Hall of Famer. Russ is done. And I have friends that are like, well, we got to put Winston. You can't put Dart in. You got to put Winston. No. As much as I love Jameis and what he's done and what he's become as a person, because let's be honest, coming out of college, there's very few people that liked Jameis Winston. Kid was kind of a punk. But he had to grow up a little bit. However he did that, it worked because he's a good dude by all measures. And things that I've read, I'm not in the locker room, but things that I've read and things that I've seen and I heard other people saying, he's a great locker room guy. That's why the Giants are keeping him around. He's mentoring Jaxson Dart, just like Russ. And I like Russ is the consummate professional. Russ is saying all the right things. Everyone knows that the writing's on the wall. Okay, Russ, you're probably done. Right? Because you got thrown out of Seattle because you were declining. You were terrible in Denver. And you had one good game against a terrible defense in Dallas. But you threw for 160 yards last week. I had to look at. Yeah, 118 for 32 for 160 yards and 2 interceptions. Okay, one you just threw the Hail Mary, the prayer up and got picked. And then the interception in the end zone was completely inexcusable. And your plays in the red zone, I know that the plays get dialed up. But I'm telling you right now, Brian Dable or Mike Kafka does not tell the quarterback, hey, just throw it into a lineman's head instead. That's the fourth down play. Or overthrow your guy by 30 yards over his head. Come on, Russ. And then the interception in the end zone, while we were trying to go in to take the lead, you throw the ball to the corner of the end zone. Dude, throw that ball out of bounds. How many times have you made that throw? Maybe that's why Pete Carroll didn't have him throw the ball in the Super Bowl. Because maybe he can't throw it when he's in the red zone. I don't know. But whatever I saw on Sunday night was not good. That was bad. That was bad quarterback play, man. And people want to blame the offensive line. No. The offensive line did not do terrible the other night. Do we have stats from Sunday? I want to see some stats. How many sacks did we give up Sunday night? I don't see it. I don't know. Someone put it up, please. Full team stats. Let's see. Here we go. How many sacks did we have? How many sacks did the Chiefs have? Okay, we had 2 turnovers, duh. Oh, I don't see it. Two sacks. That's it. It's not terrible. That's probably an average for the NFL. Nobody, unless you're the Philadelphia Eagles, nobody protects their quarterback the entire time. That's not terrible, guys. Stop with the offensive line right now because they're not playing terrible. Andrew Thomas looked good. I'm glad to see him back in the game after I kind of shit on him last week. And he deserves it. I know he's injured, but I'm not going to beat that dead horse. He needs to get back in the game. Okay. He's getting paid a lot of money to play left tackle, the most important position on the offensive line. We need him back. He's an all-pro defensive or offensive lineman. Okay. Need him back in. I got to have him healthy. Get back there. Marcus and Bo, you got to play. John Michael Schmidt, bro, you got to take your head out of your ass, buddy, because you're terrible. And I love this kid. I think he can be good. But right now, you ain't showing me. You look bad. Okay. Offensive line's been better. So stop blaming the offensive line. The quarterback play has been horrendous. They look lost offensively. This week's going to be another test. This week's you're going up against a very good defense. But there's hope right now. There's hope right now. And that hope rides on the shoulder, the right arm of a young man named Jaxson Dart. Because yesterday, it was announced through ESPN's Adam Schefter that Mr. Dart, who our 25th pick overall, our second pick in the first round, the future of the New York Giants, is going to start week 4 against the San Diego Chargers. And that was further confirmed today by head coach Brian Dable saying that Jaxson Dart is going to start every game the rest of the season. And there is nothing that made me happier to hear that, because that's what we need. Whether he succeeds or not, because listen, Jaxson Dart does not make the Giants a playoff team. Does not at all. We're still on track to maybe win 5, maybe 6 games. Hopefully. But I just feel like the shot in the arm, the excitement, right? And I don't want to hear, he's trying to save his job. He's caving to the fans. No, Russell Wilson is not the answer. Okay, Jaxson Dart is not going to become a better quarterback sitting on the sidelines watching Russ suck for a few more games. It's not going to happen. It's done. Now, you do it now. Put him in there, see what he can do. Give a spark to the team. That's how this works, man. I don't want to hear, we're going to get killed behind that offensive line. Shut up. Stop it. Remember, do you remember number 10 when he came in the game? He came in, they started him. I think it was right around, I don't remember if it was his week 5 or week 6. When Eli Manning got in the game, and then he 237 or 236 games later, he's still our quarterback. Never relinquished it, except for an idiot coach with an agenda. that ruined his streak. To make some kind of stupid point. Okay? Put him in there. See what he can do. We're not going to be worse. It's not going to be worse, guys. I promise you that. The Giants will be better offensively with Jaxson Dart. That is a promise. I guarantee it. And if we're not, we can revisit this in 6, 8, 10 weeks. And they can say, oh, you know what? I was wrong. But I'm not. I'm telling you right now, I'm not wrong. This kid's good. Another charisma kid. Him and Skattebo, they're best friends. The charisma is crazy. And charisma doesn't win football games. I get it. But charisma helps locker rooms. And locker rooms and culture wins football games. It creates a winning culture. If you played sports, any kind of organized sports, coached as a player, whatever, you understand that. But when your star player is almost in tears after the game because he's sick of losing, what do? You're not putting James Winston in the game because he's another guy. The league has passed him by. He's been in the league forever too, right? 2014, 2013, came in the league. He's been in the league 10 years minimum. I don't have the number in front of me. I mean, he can still sling the rock, sure. But is he going to give you anything better than Rusted? The answer is no. And he's old. Jaxson Dart's a young man. He can also sling the rock. And guess what? He's going to make rookie mistakes. So here's what I'm asking. I'm looking you all, my fellow Giant fans. I'm looking all of you in the eye right now. And I'm saying, please, I'm begging you, please have some patience with Jaxson Dart. Please have some patience. He's not coming into the game on Sunday and throwing for 450 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's not happening. And rushing for 100 yards, right? He's not going to all of a sudden turn into Josh Allen on week 1. Have some patience. He's going to make mistakes. That's why he's in the game. He's going to have to go in there and learn. So please, for the love of God, if you are at the game on Sunday, please have patience with this kid. Because I promise you, he's going to be the future of this team. That is why they drafted him. That is why they picked him 25th. They traded down to pick him. They believe in him, and I believe in him. And I believe that they know that they got something here. But if we're going to ride this kid because he makes a couple mistakes in his first game, because you're frustrated of losing, I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe football's not for you. I know we're all tired of losing, but you got to give this kid some time, and you got to give him some patience. And the best way to do that is put him in the game. Let him get beat up on Sunday, as long as he doesn't get hurt. Okay? He's going to face a good defense. That's good for him. He's going to probably force some balls because he's excited. He's nervous. Hell, maybe he drops some dimes. Maybe he drops in the bucket like he did in the preseason. We saw him make some phenomenal throws in the preseason. So we know we can do it. But hey, let's give the kid a little bit of patience, man. Give him some grace. Because I promise you're going to be happy. Maybe that's me and all the 5 Giant fans that believe in this move clapping and being cheering, because that's going to be me on Sunday. I can't wait. I'm rocking it. I'm excited to wear my Jaxson Dart jersey, even though I just got a brand new one. And I did order a Skattebo. But even if my Skattebo come in tomorrow, I'm rocking the Jaxson Dart because I'm supporting this kid. Because I believe that he's going to win a Super Bowl with us in the near future. Not now, not next year or the year after that. But by 2030, we will be hoisting a trophy, and the young Mr. Dart will be doing it. I believe that. And we just have to have patience, man. You got to do it. And then you should be excited, right? Because this is what Giants fan wanted. We wanted a new quarterback, a young quarterback. You know, and by the way, if you see my post, I'm going to look at you all again, and you know who you are. You know who you are. For the last 6 years, if you rode me about how much I love Daniel Jones and how much I supported him, and I rocked my Daniel Jones jerseys and my hoodie with his number on it, and I got excited about Daniel Jones, and you guys made fun of me, well, you all kissed my white ass. And you owe me an edible arrangement and a written apology, because it wasn't Daniel Jones. It was Daniel Jones fearing for his life every week the lack of confidence and the lack of protection and the lack of weapons around him. Because look what happened the one year that he had a good offensive line, a good, healthy offensive line. What happened? Went to the playoffs. Won a game on the road against a pretty decent, not a great team, but a good team in Minnesota. Hadn't lost a home game all year. We beat them. We were double-digit underdogs in that game. Won. I'm not saying that Daniel Jones is Dan Marino. And it was not Daniel Dimes anymore, by the way. It's the Indiana Jones. I love that. There is nobody outside of Indiana rooting for that young man harder than me right now. I love him. And then everyone that has trashed him and said bad things about him over the last 6 years while he was a Giant, I love the fact that you're all eating crow right now. And if you're telling yourself why he still sucks, well, you're lying to yourself because he doesn't suck. He's leading the league in passing right now. Hasn't even thrown in any interceptions. It's fantastic to watch. Now, I do think that they're overrating the Indianapolis Colts just a little bit. Yeah, I don't feel like the Colts are a threat to the Buffalo Bills. You never know, but I pretty much don't think that's the case. But he's playing out of his mind right now, and good for him. But he wasn't going to do that here. Okay, but now we have the guy that is going to do it. And some fans, and I get it, and I read it, and I see it on social media every single day. I read it on the Giants pages or any kind of football page that posts anything about the Giants. It's one of a half a dozen things. It's fire Dable, fire the GM. Dable sucks. Shane sucks, which is a complete asinine statement. This guy sucks. That guy sucks. Cut him, fire him, trade him. That's all it is. No matter, I feel like if the Giants went and traded for Josh Allen tomorrow and he took us to the Super Bowl and won this year, there's a handful. There's a good portion of our fan base who would complain. Oh, we traded our draft picks for that guy. He's old. He's been in the league forever. You would find something to complain about because I know Yankee fans that are the exact same way. I have friends of mine that no matter how good the Yankees do, right, despite the fact that for the last 2 months they've had the best record in baseball, okay, they're just angry with the Yankees for whatever reason. They're going to find something wrong, right? Oh, they've been playing bad teams. So what? Everybody has to play the same schedule, guys. It's just about when you play them. They don't beat good teams. That's not true, too. Okay, but there's a good portion of you know who you are. You're going to complain about no matter what happens. So you just continue to be miserable. Scott Fryer, on Big Blue Confidential, I'm going to find the positives out of every situation. And if you like that and you want to support that and you want to change your way you are and you want to be like me, continue watching my show because I promise you the power of positive thinking is going to work. You will end up being just like me someday. You'll end up being a positive Giant fan through all the miserableness. Because listen, I am just as frustrated as you. I'm just as frustrated as you. I'm just as angry as you after every single game that we lose. I'm tired of the losing. I get it. But I just choose to not project my negativity because that doesn't do anything for your mental health, first of all. Your mental health suffers because you just let them ruin your day, right? You define something positive. That's what I did this week. Hey, we were ass again this week. We were booty cheeks again this week. But guess what? Cam Skattebo looks awesome. That's my positive. Then we got Jaxson Dart starting on Sunday, our young quarterback who's going to make a difference. We're going to be better on Sunday than we would have been with Russ. We're going to be better Sunday than we would have been with Jameis Winston. It's just the way it is. So listen, enjoy the game Sunday. Like us on Facebook if you have not. Like us on Instagram. Like us on TikTok now. I have a TikTok, Big Blue Confidential, same thing. And I've actually started it on Friday, and I'm up to almost 120 followers now. So that's pretty awesome. Kind of like that. I swore I'd never do a TikTok. because I despise TikTok, but I find myself getting sucked into the rabbit hole, Ryan. TikTok is actually way better than Facebook, and there's way less negativity on TikTok. For some way, somehow, there's way less negativity. I don't know if it's my what do they call that? The
Algorithm.
algorithm. Thanks. Yeah. I'm just a torpedo man. Don't mind me. The algorithm doesn't allow me to see things like that, but I don't see any politics or any kind of asinine crap. I see a lot of Giant stuff. I see some Yankee stuff. I see a lot of fun stuff. Maybe TikTok. Maybe I was wrong about TikTok all these years. Maybe I was wrong, but I'm enjoying it. So if you like TikTok, you're on TikTok. You want more Big Blue Confidential. You want some silly stuff. I've been creating some videos that have been fun. Like and follow. Like all my videos. Make comments. Do whatever. Because I'm enjoying that. And I'm enjoying doing the show, guys.
Well, on TikTok, it says that Taylor Swift, over 333 million views, NFL during last season.
Any content. Yeah, listen, it's the power of TikTok. Am I going to get Taylor Swift numbers? No.
They're calling it the Taylor Swift effect.
Okay. Give me the Taylor Swift effect on Big Blue Confidential. There you go. Maybe I should have her on the show.
That would be phenomenal.
Maybe I'll have her on the show. Maybe I'll have Lawrence Taylor on the show. That would be great too. But thanks, guys. Listen, it's already past my bedtime. Thanks for tuning in. I had a lot to say today. I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm feeling the frustration as you guys. Eddie says that's for DJ. I might have said it, but I bought the album, so I get it. But Eddie, my guy Eddie, that he's a good Giant fan and he's a good friend, and he gets it. He gets it. He knows my obsession with DJ was, and he understands it. And I'm happy for DJ because he's in a place now he's able to succeed. He's able to do that, and I'm not going to be that guy because I'm indifferent to the Colts. Right? It's not like he went to the Eagles or the Cowboys, and he's dead to me now. Like another player who I won't say out loud. But I'm honestly rooting for Daniel Jones, and I love it. The fact that he went there and did that. So good for him. Good for Jaxson Dart getting his first NFL start. It was nice to see him wearing the red jersey at practice today. I did watch a little bit of practice. When they ran out the first team, it was great to see number 6 running out with the first team, getting some meaningful reps, and he's going to be out there on Sunday. And dear God, if you believe in God, if you believe whatever deity that you believe in, pray to that individual or that person or that woman or that whatever it is, that our young quarterback, Jaxson Dart, stays healthy. Protect him, please, because he is the future of the Giants. We can't afford to have our guy get hurt, because then what? Anyway, I'm not going to make a prediction for Sunday because every prediction I've made so far has been wrong. Yeah, you're overusing that button. I'm going to take it away. We have been wrong about every prediction, so I'm not going to make a prediction. Here's what I'm going to say: the Giants are going to be better on Sunday. They're playing a much better team than the Chiefs in the Los Angeles Chargers. So it's going to be difficult. Points will be at a premium. We got to get after Justin Herbert. We did better against the run this week than we have. I was happy with our performance against the run against the Chiefs. That was good. I think we held Pacheco to like 10 yards rushing, or 60 yards, and he was the leading rusher for the Chiefs. So that was good. Okay, but this is a different team. This is a different ball club. They're good on both sides of the football. And they're going to test it. Dart will be tested, and I feel like he's going to do fine. But again, please have some patience. If we don't win the game on Sunday, please don't kill this kid. If he has a bad game, please don't kill him. Please, because we need his confidence to be up because he is the future of this team. All right? Guys, listen, again, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch coming soon. Maybe by the weekend. And look for some more content from Sunday's game. I'll be dropping a couple interviews. I'll be dropping some parking lot stuff because we had a good time. And I'm going to be doing it again this coming Sunday. From MetLife Stadium. Maybe I'll do a little live spot this time too. All right? Have a great week, guys. Please be safe. Take care of one another. And we'll see you next time on Big Blue Confidential.